If you're wondering whether it's worth farming expeditions in the Rise of the Abyssal expansion, this is the video you need to watch. I'll be breaking down literally everything related to expeditions, from dropping 100 logbooks through running them, all the way to farming the ultimate expedition boss Olroth. The logbooks I farmed had area level 81, and 4 mods. You can buy them on the Path of Exile 2 community server, the Forbidden Trove, for about 130 exalted orbs each. That means 100 logbooks would cost you around 13,000 exalt, which is roughly 30 divine orbs. I decided to farm all 100 logbooks myself in order to thoroughly analyze each step of the process. I farmed the logbooks on tier 15 maps, most of them rolled with 6 mods. I also made sure that maps I was running were influenced by the unique tablet Forgotten by Time, which duplicates runic monsters and makes them spawn at half health. It's not expensive, just 1 exalted orb, and it lasts for 5 maps, but it speeds up farming significantly. I divided the logbook farming into 2 stages because I wanted to analyze 2 different ways of allocating passives on the Expedition Atlas tree. The first setup was based on picking 6 small passives, which in total gave me 60% more logbooks dropped by runic monsters. On top of that, I selected 2 notable passives. The first one was Disturbed Rest, which increases the number of runic monster markers by 30%, and the second was Detailed Records, which makes dropped logbooks roll with 4 modifiers and +1 to area level. With this setup, after running 100 maps, I got 50 logbooks in total, 33 from monsters and 17 from chests. The second setup was slightly different. The notable passives I picked were Detailed Records, Disturbed Rest, Timed Detonations, which doesn't affect logbooks, and Legendary Battles, which increases the number of rare monsters by 50%, indirectly boosting the chance of logbook drops. This setup turned out to be better, and the remaining 50 logbooks dropped for me after 90 maps, 42 from monsters and only 8 from chests. So I tested both approaches and can confidently recommend the second setup. To sum it up, I needed 190 maps to drop 100 logbooks. I tried using different expedition tablets, but I didn't notice any impact from them. 75 logbooks came from monsters, and the remaining 25 from chests. Based on this analysis, I can say that the chance of getting a logbook from a map is around 53%. Since I've already covered the logbook farming stage, let's move on to analyzing them. I divided this analysis into 4 sections. The first 3 focus on running 25 logbooks in each location, and the last one is a combined summary of all 100 logbooks. A common approach across all locations was prioritizing runic splinters, which drop from expedition chests. These splinters are required to access the final expedition boss, Olroth. The first location I will analyze is the Frigid Bluffs. In this location, I focused on engaging the frozen bosses and underground caves. Completing 25 logbooks took me 2 hours and 6 minutes, of which I spent 35 minutes setting up the explosions, 45 minutes on killing, and another 45 minutes on looting. I killed a total of 13,833 monsters, which is 553 per map. In the case of gold, the average value per map was 13,192. The total profit from classic currency was 1.68 divine orbs. The expedition currency in numbers looks as follows. The total amount was 2,643, which translates into 0.82 divine orbs of profit. As for runic splinters, I got 1,528 of them, which equals roughly 12 divine orbs. The second location I'll analyze is Barren Atoll. Here I focused on hitting strong boxes, underground caves and gold chests. Completing 25 logbooks took me 2 hours and 34 minutes, with 30 minutes spent setting up explosions, 45 minutes on killing, and 1 hour and 18 minutes on looting, which also included opening strong boxes. As you can see, in this location looting alone took up 50% of the total time. I killed a total of 19,279 monsters, which equals 771 per map. The average amount of gold per logbook in this location is 125,760. The total profit from classic currency amounts to 3.9 divine orbs. The expedition currency statistics are as follows. The total amount was 2,232, which translates to a profit of 0.57 divine orbs. As for the runic splinters, I obtained 1,318 of them, which is worth around 10 divine orbs. The third location I'll analyze is Lush Isle. Here I focused on underground caves and currency stashes. Completing 25 logbooks took me 2 hours and 7 minutes, with 37 minutes spent setting up explosions, 50 minutes on killing, and 39 minutes on looting. Now I have the opportunity to compare these 3 locations. Barren Atoll took the most time due to the strong boxes. The other 2 locations are equally time consuming. In Lush Isle, I killed 10,862 monsters, which is 434 per map. The location with the most monsters per logbook is Barren Atoll, thanks again to the strong boxes. The average amount of gold per logbook in this location is 12,082. In this case, Barren Atoll again achieves the best result thanks to the gold chests. The total profit from classic currency amounts to 3.49 divine orbs. In this category, Barren Atoll also takes the top spot. The expedition currency statistics are as follows. The total amount was 2,149, which translates to a profit of 0.59 divine orbs. As for runic splinters, I obtained 1,354, which is worth around 11 divine orbs. In this category, the best location is Frigid Bluffs. After analyzing all 3 locations, I'll move on to the summary of all 100 logbooks I processed. Let me remind you that my main priority was to obtain as many runic splinters as possible, so I focused on reaching as many expedition chests as I could. It took me 8 hours and 37 minutes to process all 100 logbooks. I killed 55,954 monsters, which is about 560 per map. The total profit from regular currency amounted to 10.4 divine orbs. The expedition currency figures are as follows. The total amount was 8,909, which translates to a profit of 1.88 divine orbs. As for the runic splinters, I obtained 5,252 of them, which equals approximately 43 divine orbs. This amount of runic splinters allows for activating the final expedition boss Olroth on the highest difficulty level 35 times. Additionally, I obtained a few notable items. Mainly, these were the newly added exceptional items in this patch, which have more sockets or over 20% quality. While running the logbooks, I got several of these items and sold them for 86 divine orbs. The total profit from 100 logbooks, taking into account regular currency, expedition currency, and runic splinters, was 55 divine orbs, which in my case equals 6.4 divine orbs per hour. Item values are calculated based on market prices as of October 4th, 2025, so they may vary, as can the time required to complete 100 logbooks. The net profit, after subtracting the cost of the logbooks, is 25 divine orbs, or 2.92 divine orbs per hour. I'll also present these values, including the exceptional items that dropped for me. In this case, the total is 141 divine orbs, which equals 16.31 per hour. After subtracting the cost of the logbooks, the net profit is 111 divine orbs, or 12.85 per hour. Here's how 100 logbooks break down in numbers. Finally, I'll move on to a brief analysis of 35 attempts at Olroth. As I mentioned earlier, I faced Olroth on the highest difficulty 35 times. That's how many attempts my dropped runic splinters allowed for. Unfortunately, not all of those runs ended in a kill. 25 were successful. Here are the items I managed to obtain from him. One of the most valuable items that can drop from this boss, it's the Olroth's Resolve Life Flask, which I managed to get twice. I also dropped the Uhtred's Omen Gem, worth around 7 divine orbs. The remaining items aren't significant enough in value to include in the profit calculations. 35 attempts cost me around 43 divine orbs. I died 10 times and the items I managed to sell brought in about 39 divine orbs, meaning I ended up at a loss overall. If we assume I only made the 25 successful attempts, the total cost would have been 32 divine orbs. resulting in a small profit of about 7 divine orbs. The most valuable item that can drop from Olroth is the Atre's Augury Gem, currently worth around 40 divine orbs. That's the key item you'll want to target if you are farming Olroth for profit. Farming logbooks is an activity that requires a lot of time and planning. Unfortunately, you can't just open a map and rush it from start to finish. You need to carefully place your explosives to get the most out of the mechanic. Logbooks are definitely for players who enjoy a strategic and thoughtful approach. It's also not repetitive, since every run forces you to adjust your strategy and experiment a bit. I hope this video helps you decide whether farming logbooks is worth it. It can definitely be a profitable activity if done right. We've reached the end of the video. If you're still here, props to you for sticking around. Let me know in the comments whether such a detailed analysis is helpful. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.